Hey, I'm Jared with Barber Landscaping, and I was going to talk to you today about pine straw. A few things we're going to cover is why you should use pine straw, where the best places to get pine straw are, and common schemes company use to get more money out of you. So to start off with, if you've been in Georgia for a while, you know that pine straw is everywhere. It's one of our biggest commodities in Georgia. There are pine trees everywhere. Now, where I'm from in South Georgia, it is our number one crop, pine trees. And every year in the fall, they harvest the pine straw that's fallen. You have two major types of pine straw. You have longleaf pine straw, which is longer. They're probably 18 inches long straw needles. And then you have slash pine straw, which is a lot dirtier, is shorter. The slash trees are easier to grow, and the longleaf pines are a lot more difficult. They take longer to grow, but they produce higher quality pine straw that lasts longer and is better for your yard. Now, the reason to use pine straw, um, you want to use it as ground cover in your beds. It breaks down over time and produces higher quality soil for your bushes and shrubs, flowers. You probably want to change it out, or don't not change it out. Once it gets gray looking, you want to put um, a new layer on top. And it starts out when we lay it, it looks like it's about 8 inches tall because it's fluffy, but as soon as a couple days goes by, it starts flattening out, and it's really about an inch or so, maybe even a half inch thick, depending on how much you want to put there. Now, the best places to get pine straw is, of course, Georgia. Got to promote the state's top agricultural industry. But the suppliers I use get their pine straw from South Georgia. We've worked out supplier relationships with people from my hometown that own big, large stands of longleaf pine. We only use longleaf pine straw, and usually the cost for the bales are about $4 a bale for longleaf, and you can usually get it maybe $3.25 to $3.50 for slash. But I highly recommend using longleaf because you just get so much more quality. Now, when you have a company come out and they give you a quote to put out pine straw, there's a couple little schemes that they can play. The first scheme is when we go out, we quote by the bale usually. It's usually price of the bale plus $2. So we quote $6 a bale. And that's what we do. We don't go higher, we don't go lower. That's what it is. If you're getting over 100 bales, we might can work some out, but the margins are so tight in pine straw that there ain't much room to work there. And the reason people come up with these schemes is because of the margins are so tight. Now, the first scheme I want to talk about is the shadiest one, is going out and they'll tell you, hey, it's going to take 30 bales when it actually take 20 bales. You pay them for 30 bales at, let's say it's $5 a bale they quote you, and that's 10 times 5, that's the extra $50 they put in their pocket. You see? And so what they do is they overquote and get you to pay that and then put less pine straw out than what they quoted you for. The next scheme is to tell you they're doing a cost plus labor. Uh, this is a common one I've been running into recently. It's say they'll charge you the cost of the bale plus $150 to lay it down. Now, usually to lay down 30 bales of pine straw, it might take us an hour. But if they're going to say, hey, and when you're a homeowner and you're looking at this, and you say, oh, it's worth $150 to lay it down, the common going price is $2 a bale. We can lay out $2 to $60 an hour. That's what we go for. And so that's the third, probably the one of the last ones. The other one is when you're buying pine straw or when somebody's supplying pine straw, there's a couple ways they can get their cost on the pine straw bales down. And that is lower quality pine straw using slash pine straw, and the big one, small bales. They'll actually be almost half the size. There's some producers here in Cumming, I'm not going to say, but their bales are half the size as my regular supplier's bales, and they charge the same price. So instead of raising the prices and killing themselves on the market, they drop the size of the bale, use less pine straws. So usually, this to fit in a semi truck, there's about 1,300 bales. If they're getting 15 to 1,600, even 1,800 bales in a semi truck, I mean, they're just, that's way for them to increase their profit. Now, what's fair? It's for you to decide. As long as they're not lying to you, as long as they're being upfront and honest, go for it. But make sure you know what you're buying. And if you're going to get pine straw, give us a call, 678 684 9084. Thank you.